Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Darcy. I am an NYU student. I make college videos and vlogs, and today I'm coming at you with an NYU video because I know these are super popular and a lot of you are interested in NYU. So I wanted to give you all a video kind of talking about what to expect when you are coming to be a student here, since it is getting to be back to school season and I know some of you are starting here in the fall. So I wanted to give you all some information on what to expect as you're coming here. I first want to talk about the moving in process because that definitely can be kind of stressful, but I would say don't worry about it, you're going to be okay. Basically, I moved into this current dorm at the beginning of this year, and my parents, we all drove all of my stuff out, so it's definitely a lot to move in because New York is so busy and it's kind of hard to park on the street, but you'll make it work. It'll be fine. You'll move everything in. They have, at least my dorm has these huge big bins, and you put all your stuff in, you bring it up on the elevator, and it's not too bad. So definitely don't be too stressed about that. Just kind of do your best to plan and kind of know they're used to moving tons of people in and out all the time, so there's going to be procedures put in place to make sure that moving in goes smoothly and you'll be fine. And so on the note of dorms, there are a lot of dorms and a fair amount of dining halls at NYU, but they're all pretty spaced out. There are some that are pretty close to campus, but the ones I have lived in and am going to be living in are a lot further from campus, which I actually don't mind because it kind of gives you a feel of being like a New Yorker, not just in a college bubble. And so that's the thing about NYU's campus and all their facilities is it's very spread out. NYU actually has I think the second most real estate in New York, which is wow. So there's just a lot, and it's all very spread out, but it makes you feel more like a New Yorker, which I personally like. And I think it kind of gives you oh, I'm living in a city as opposed to being in a college bubble, because the campus is not a bubble. There's lots of public spaces around it and lots of people, lots of tourists in Washington Square Park and people visiting, and so I think it's really cool because you do get the kind of college experience, but at the same time you get to be a New Yorker. So I would definitely expect that you might not be living super close to campus, and that people are going to be very spread out. Your friends might live all over the city in different places if they live off campus, or even if they live on campus they could be on the opposite side of campus than you are, and so things can be really spread out. But I mean, just knowing that is fine. It's really not a big deal. I think it's just good to know, and also know that there aren't dining halls everywhere. So I would definitely check up on that when you're thinking about meal plans. You probably are required to have one if you're a freshman, but if you live off campus you probably aren't required to have one. And so yeah, just do your research on all of that. This one's just kind of random and funny, but expect construction. There's always construction. I don't know why. The whole time I've been at NYU there's been construction, even in the winter. They're always doing construction on the streets around Washington Square Park. Maybe it'll be done eventually, maybe by the time I graduate it'll be done, but basically the whole time I've been here there's been construction. So just expect that, and just be respectful of the construction workers, and they know NYU is a college campus, so they know people have to walk around and everything, and it's not a big deal. Just expect it. So in my experience, the first semester I was here I had to take a lot of big lecture classes because NYU is a big school. That's going to be part of the process, is being in big lecture classes for those intro courses, those core courses. But as I've moved into my majors a little bit more and taken more specialized topics and classes, they have become smaller, I would say. So I think you can get both. I personally really like smaller classes, but if you're more into lectures you can get that. So I think there's a good balance of both, but do know that for some of those big lectures you can be in classes of hundreds of students and the professor probably won't know your name. So it kind of depends on what you want, but yeah, that's definitely part of it though, because it is a really big school, but you can still get those smaller classes as well. These summer classes that I've been in, I had one class that was literally 4 students, so it really just depends. I would say because it is a really spread out campus and doesn't have a traditional campus feel, it can be hard to meet people at times, but I would say utilize the events they offer. They have a welcome week, which I use, and that's kind of how I met people I knew, and so definitely utilize that. Utilize different clubs and activities that you might be interested in. Also try try and talk to people in your classes some. There's different ways that you can try and make friends, but it can be hard, so just expect that you're probably gonna have to put in some work if you want to make friends, because New Yorkers are very independent, and being an NYU student means you're probably really independent just because of the nature of the campus and all of that. You're not going to be seeing the same people all the time, so you're probably gonna have to put in a little bit of work to like try and make friends. But yeah, just expect that and know that there's ways to do it. I have made a really great friend here who I wouldn't have met otherwise, and you know, we met just kind of spur of the moment because of some transfer events, and like we just like hit it off, and yeah, you just never know. So put yourself out there, and I think that's the best way to meet people. And I wasn't a freshman here, so I can't speak to that, but my guess is as a freshman, I think there's like a cohort program, and like obviously you have like your dorm and everything, so those are probably good ways to meet people, but I can't speak to that. And then I really want to end on a positive note, which is that Manhattan is fantastic, as are a lot of the areas in the outer boroughs as well. Like, utilize all that New York has to offer. You're not just going to NYU for NYU, you're going to NYU for New York, and New York has so much. So utilize that through your classes, through your activities, and through your free time. You know, really explore the city, utilize it to your best of your ability, and don't be afraid to explore on your own either. I'm a big advocate of that. I think it's really fun to go exploring different places. Like, get out into Brooklyn, you know, get out into different areas that you aren't as familiar with. Don't just stay around NYU's campus, because there is so much that New York has to offer. And so, you know, just like go in knowing that, and you know, really try and push yourself to explore the different areas if you aren't from here. And yeah, that can be a great way to utilize all that NYU has and all that it has access to, because NYU's name has a lot of power in the city. There's a lot of free museums you can go to, and you can get student discounts and just so many different things, discounted tickets. Yeah, and just even being able to say you're an NYU student is gonna get you places. Like in classes, like I've been able to like go to CNN and meet a lot of really awesome professionals. So there's just so much, because New York is right here. We're in the heart of New York, in the heart of Manhattan, and also because there are so many notable alumni, it is great for networking and meeting a lot of professionals who might be in the industry that you're interested in. So yeah, just really utilize that to your fullest potential, and expect that you can get a lot of that out of that aspect as well. Outside of it just being a college campus, you are living in New York, which is the greatest city in the world. I really hope you found this video helpful. These are just some of the things that I learned since moving here at the beginning of 2018 as a transfer. So I hope this helped you, and if you have other questions that I didn't address, definitely leave them in the comments below. As always, I love to help you all out, because these are just things that I think I learned and found important, but I want to know what you all need help with. And as I said, I'm a transfer, so I wasn't a freshman here, so I can't really speak to that, but maybe in the comments down below, you know, if people have questions about being a freshman, we can kind of make this a space to talk about it. I think that would be great. I really want this to be a supportive environment for fellow college students, fellow NYU people. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. There's gonna be room, or what am I saying?